This is Jake.
Hello?
Days in coming. Jake and I work together for months now.
Off and on.
I think I introduced myself to him like 10 times before I remembered his name.
Yeah. So I just started working with Joe at a bar, and I was only 20 at the time as a security guard.
Really?
The first.
Weren't you drinking back then?
No, I actually never had a drink in Tenerife until my 21st birthday.
Really?
And Allie fed me Rumplemans until I kicked myself out of the bar. And then Philly had to hold me with a towel in my hand.
That was nice of her.
Stu carried me home.
Stu?
Well, he carried me into a car.
Did you really drink before that?
I like have an off and on relationship with alcohol. Like alcoholism runs like really bad genetically in my family, and my older families getting to the point where they're getting health problems a little bit earlier, and so
like cirrhosis of the liver and shit?
Not cirrhosis, but just like heart problems.
Oh, really?
Like my grandfather just died of dementia.
You think that's drinking related?
I don't think it's drinking related, but it definitely could have an effect. And for some people...
Well, that could be said about anything, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'd like to take my vices as little as I can.
I think drinking is more of a social thing for me.
That's how it is for me, and sometimes, it gets the best of me. Last week or the week before, I'll go out and drink with all my friends on Glenwood, and for some reason, I'll just feel like a menace going up to all the bars, talking to the bartenders, or going out with my friends.
Because you're on the other side of the bar the other 5 days of the week?
Yeah, and then I'm sitting the next morning...
regretting everything you said?
I'm in pain, being God damn it, this is why I spend, the greater part of my week on the other side of the bar.
Yeah.
It's a lot more fulfilling for me.
Could you imagine getting absolutely hammered where you worked and then calling your lead bartender a ginger fleshlight?
I think that should go off the record.
Oh. It's definitely going on the record.
Alright.
Wait, you didn't do that. Did you do that too? Are you following in Brandon's footsteps?
No.
Jake is a sweet guy. Jake is the nicest guy I've ever met in my fucking life. Maybe too nice, honestly.
And what's funny is, I'm, very modest about it, too, and I know it. But, the way I grew up, I just don't see it as being any different. Just because I grew up with a Jewish mother, and then also grew up in the South. So I feel like that combination...
I guess I don't understand, having a Jewish mother.
So the best way I can explain having a Jewish mother is someone that will give you a lot of backhanded love, but
please give me. All right, explain more. Give me a situation.
She ultimately does not give a shit about what I'm gonna do. Her love is unconditional whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
But she also, when I switched out of engineering, and literally the moment I was making that decision, and I was going through a very depressive state, not in a great mindset at all, and I had been calling her on and off, and then going in and out of panic fits because I had no idea what I was doing with my life in school at that point. Basically I was just I'm gonna switch into economics and just take some easy electives, be able to finish out and only take major courses, so if I really don't like it then I can just switch into something easier and finish out, because I had just been so burnt out from school. And the first thing she said was, honey, I think that's the right thing to do, but you could still switch into engineering if you wanted to, right?
That's not where I thought this was going at all.
Yeah, but like that's.
I thought you guys would be like, you're like, well, one time we were sitting at dinner and she'd be like, it'd be really nice if somebody wore their yarmulke, but their hair looks nice.
No, my mom isn't. So I grew up. She grew up. Like there are a couple denominations of Judaism. Some more conservative than others.
Is your dad Jewish too?
No, he was raised Catholic. His mom's parents are straight Irish immigrants, and then his dad's family is from like the Rhineland, like German, French border.
And then your mom's family is like.
There's a town called Zilles. Germany. Is
it your town?
It's
your town.
It's the origin town of my family.
Wait, so your mom's parents, how'd they feel about your dad being like Christian?
So they didn't really care that much. He wasn't going to convert, but he was like very accepting.
Yeah.
I don't think that he was raised very religious, and I don't think that he has much of a capacity towards like caring towards it.
Was your mom's parents religious, like super religious?
Yeah.
Did they make your dad get circumcised? Isn't that a Jewish thing?
I have no idea.
Really? Have you ever asked your dad if he's circumcised?
No.
Did your mom make you get circumcised? My body, my choice.
My consent, yeah.
Damn it.
So it's the world.
They let you keep it at least?
Huh?
They let you keep it?
If they did, I don't know where they put it.
Did your mom keep your umbilical cord? Moms do that.
Well, they keep...
Do you know?
They don't keep the umbilical cord. Like, people keep the placenta because, like, it's all... The placenta is, basically... It's like a embryonic, little pouch. That,
hold you.
Enzymes.
Your little... Your first bed.
Yeah, but, like, it attaches to the embryonic sac, and it feeds all the nutrients in from the uterus.
Because the umbilical cord is pretty much just a shit tube, right?
No, so that's like the...
it's where it goes out.
The placenta is like the connection from the umbilical cord to the uterus, and then the umbilical cord goes to the...
and you were worried about finishing engineering school? I don't know any of this. Continue?
Both my parents are in the medical field.
Oh, that's right, they are.
So my dad is an orthopedic surgeon, and then my mom is a PA that's in obstetrics and gynecology. So she stares at vaginas all day.
So
and they're Durham vaginas, so they're probably not the best ones.
Beat up?
I wouldn't say beat up, but probably...
I bet she has some fucking stories.
Oh god, yeah. That's a HIPAA violation.
Yo, I have a friend that does like bikini waxes and stuff, and she's like, you know, like Brazilian waxes, and like she says like a lot of times, like, you know, that like, oh, put your knees up by your shoulders and they'll just poop a little bit, and like in our field of work, like I see vomit and feces a lot, but I don't really see it just pop out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like. I don't know what I'd do. Like, do you help it out? Like, I got that. Like, don't worry.
No idea. God.
We're supposed to wax her leg before this podcast. One of us was.
Yeah, I think it was me. I walked up to...
but we didn't do... We're tied.
I walked up to my manager last night, and before I went downstairs, because Joe and I usually work on different floors, and I said, hey... Can you do a loop around the bar and see if you can find any earrings? And he looked at me like I had two heads, and I just said, like, Scott, like, I do a lot for you. Can you please do a loop around and see if you can find earrings? And he was like, why? And I was like, well, Joe and I have this bet. I don't know really how it came into fruition, but once we started bartending together a couple months ago, we would just shoot shit behind the bar and be like, alright, have like little competitions, but for some reason we came up with one that was like, if you find the like most amount of earrings at the end of the night, you win.
Yeah, I feel like
but we've like done it a couple nights, and I've like gotten nowhere close to as many earrings as
I almost feel like
has ever gotten.
I didn't really think about this till like right now. I feel like that's the Jewish part of you coming out. You're like, oh, maybe I'll get a gold one.
No. That was
Maybe
it might have been.
Is that a diamond?
It might have been subconsciously, but I didn't think about that.
Oh yeah, look at you. You're like, maybe I'll sell this one.
It's all coming back.
I got my chest waxed once. It was not the best. I don't know. I was in Florida and I was dating this girl and her mom did that kind of stuff. And she's like, fine, you want to do it? I was like, yeah, because I used to shave my chest all the time. I used to hate, like when I was in my early 20s, I hated having hair. Ironically now I'm hairy as fuck. I mean, like a good cut beard and whatnot, but I just hated having hair on my chest. I just felt it was just like Austin Powers, you know what I mean?
That's
like,
kind of how I feel, because I trim my chest hair.
Yeah, my girlfriend loves it, and I'm like, why? I was like, you know how bad it is, like when you're eating and something goes in your chest hair. I was like, do you know what the most nasty feeling in the world is? I don't shave my butt crack though.
I don't either.
Like, but I feel like that's one thing I should shave though if I was disgusted by hair.
Yeah, but that hair is there for a reason.
To keep my butt warm.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. To make sure your sweat doesn't.
I don't know how much hair is down there.
Down your leg when you're running around in the summer.
Well, I try to light my farts on fire quite often.
Yeah, probably evaporates most of it. But then you still have the salts just like left in there. You'd rather just.
Man, I chafe so fucking bad. Because I'll sweat and then it'll dry and then it'll just like walking through the bar all the time. I feel like I get a lot of exercise at that bar.
I was actually talking to one of my good friends from Durham today, but he was like commenting. He was like, "Dude, you're looking good." Like I was very overweight as a kid.
You were fat?
Yeah.
Oh, you play sports?
All the time, too.
And you were still fat?
Yeah.
Are your parents fat?
So my mom, is naturally pretty skinny, but we're all like addicted to caffeine, stimulants. So like we just like stay skinny, don't eat. And then my dad, he is at a point where I believe like he has just kind of given up on his weight, and like he's had multiple knee surgeries because he's overweight.
How much overweight?
He is probably 2 inches taller than me and weighs 290 pounds.
Good God.
Yeah.
And he's a surgeon?
Yeah.
What kind of surgery does he do?
Orthopedics.
Eyes? Orthopedics eyes?
No, that's bones.
Okay. He's not worried he's gonna like fall on somebody? Oh, you have a broken leg and now an arm.
I don't know.
Sorry, I didn't mean to talk shit about your dad.
No, it's fine. I have a weird relationship with my dad right now.
Yeah, me and my dad just started talking for like the first time in forever. It's weird, like
sorry.
I feel like being a single mom back in the 80s and 90s was a very just a thing. You know what I mean? But now dads step up a lot more. I could be wrong with that. You know what I mean? It's just how I view it. You know what I mean? I feel like there's still a lot of single moms out there, but the single moms from the 90s were just a different breed.
So I kind of agree with that, and my mom and my dad, I feel like they're both workaholics.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't get that from me.
From you.
Yeah, but they my mom spent a lot more time taking care of us. That I feel like she's that type of breed, and my parents got divorced when I was 10 years old, so I was living with her from then on, and so it's pretty much just felt like the same kind of thing where like she's kind of had to be that sole parent.
Yeah.
And my dad is at the point where like he doesn't want to or doesn't have like the right way of reaching out.
Mm-hmm.
And I have.
Do you have the same do either your parents?
I don't.
Do either your parents and you have like similar hobbies?
Work.
Yeah. Work.
Yeah.
That's crazy because it's something that can bring you together. Like work brings us together, but it also drives people apart.
Medicine brought them together.
Mm-hmm.
But it also drove them away from each other because they both are so occupied with caring for the people around them. Yeah. Sometimes they forget about those themselves. People really close.
No, I feel that. I got a guy I hang out with, Dr. Scott. I don't want to drop his last name. He's a fucking brain surgeon, right? But like, he was telling me like when he was like real deep in it, it would be like 8-hour surgeries. You know what I mean? He'd go home and then he'd go back and do another 8-hour surgery, and it's like, bro, like when did you live? You know, and I worry about that. You know, I mean, I see a lot of my friends, like, I'm in my 30s, like, I should be a grown adult, but here I am working in bars, that, like, just don't live. You know, they're alive, you know what I mean? And I love that Carly likes to do things, because if she didn't, I don't know if we'd be together. And, like, I like to go, you know what I mean? And, like, true, like, she does, you know, keep me grounded a lot, but before me and her were together, it'd be like, I got $600 in my pocket. I was like, the plane flight's $100. I'll figure out where I'm gonna stay, and I just take off. I used to do it all the time. It's got me fired once or twice, but I got rehired. Thus being a hard worker. I think travel is important. You know what I mean?
I definitely think it is too. I just traveled, just like day
To Durham.
Couple days. I was in Virginia, Smith Mountain Lake.
Okay.
One of my good friends and her family. But like going back to like the people caring, like it's weird to say like it's hard to see that role as like a happy couple as a family, because like I went there and like her parents love each other. And like I can say that for sure.
Yeah.
And that's something that I don't know if I could ever say of my parents. And
some people love each other different ways, though.
Yeah, you know what I mean? and that's something it's hard to accept, just because of the amount of like the world I've seen.
I think I've loved girls before, but I think Carly is one of the few people I've ever been like in love with. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, the other day, I didn't hear from her for, like, 6 hours. Call me an obsessive boyfriend if you'd like. And, like, it was raining outside. I'm like, oh, God. I was like, because I don't know what the fuck I'd ever do. You know, this world could burn down around me. As long as I had her, I think I'd be fine. Yeah. And it's crazy because I love my parents, but, like, I've grown apart from them. And I understand that they're going to die. They're old. You know what I mean? And, like, I'm glad. They had a great life. Mom was a hippie. Stepdad's a biker. My real dad's a Marine. You know, they've lived their life. You know what I mean? It's time for me to live mine. And, like, I feel like we all... to go back to what we were saying is like, I feel like living now in people's mind is like, I'm on my grind 90 hours a week. But is that, you know what I mean? Is that what you want, dude? Or would you rather work 30 hours a week, be a little poor, a lot poorer, but be able to fucking sit at Red Rock, you know what I mean? Or like go to Germany. Yeah. You know what I mean? Have you ever been abroad?
I've never been across the Atlantic. I've been just outside the U.S. to, like, a couple Caribbean islands and then Mexico, but that's it.
How'd you get there?
So I went to Mexico by cruise.
Oh, sweet. Do you like cruises?
No, I hated it.
Really?
Yeah.
Why'd you hate it?
I was kind of, like, not very social. Like, it was just, like, me and my younger brother. He's 4 years younger than me, hanging out during the cruise, and I was only 10. He was 6 at that age, so, like...
You probably like it a lot more now.
Yeah. If me and my brother go out, like I love hanging out with my brother.
Mm-hmm.
He just graduated high school, and he's going to Chapel Hill, which I'm gonna make fun of for the rest of his life because he got into NC State too. Go Pack! But
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, what's he want to do?
He doesn't know what the hell he
no
wants
one wants
to do.
No one knows.
But he's
man.
got the same ambition that I do, if not more, which is like. What's crazy to me is like he missed out on like all that kind of like trauma of like our divorce when he was too young.
Dude, trauma makes you tough, bro.
And like it's all subconscious for him, and he works so hard, and he doesn't know anything why.
Yeah.
And I'm like I just see it, and I'm like, dude, like I'm gonna be your best friend until that day comes, and then I'm gonna be a better friend. Do
you know what you want to do?
Hell no.
Yeah. It's okay. Don't feel bad, bro. Like, some of the most interesting people I've ever met in my life are, like, 55 years old, living... I fucking wish I was making this up. Living in an abandoned train car, not a clue what they want to do with their life. Hashtag Oregon.
So, that's one of the things I really enjoy about working like as such a young person in like the service industry in downtown Raleigh, because there's so many people coming into the city in so many different backgrounds. I get to hear about so many different types of companies, so many different like opportunities.
And Raleigh's such a melting pot, you know what I mean? And not only it's a big travel city too.
And like it's not gonna stop growing anytime soon. So I'm at the point where like I'm soaking it all in.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out
what I want. Sponge you.
Yeah. What's funny is that like before y'all started working with me so much, like I was very quiet and a lot of like
not you and monotone. Yeah. Don't lie to me.
But a lot of my fraternity brothers will tell you I'm probably very like I guess like well versed in a lot of stuff, and I'm good at like I guess like mirroring, because I'm like I like to sit back and like watch and listen, and as you said, like be a sponge and soak in every single point of what's in front of me before I can try it for myself.
Well, I feel like that's all learning is, you know what I mean? You have to like, I guess anything.
But I'm very much an observational learner.
Yeah, alright, so but arguably when you observe something, it changes it. So are you really learning what you're, you know what I mean? Like, are you really learning what they know, or are you learning what you've observed? You know what I mean? Do you see what I'm saying? It's a scientist, fuck's his name? I'm gonna butcher this. It's like, you can't ever watch anything because the fact that you're watching it changes it. Does that make sense? Observing something change it? God damn it, I'm gonna Google this shit.
Yeah. Our resident fact checker isn't here.
Yeah. Thanks, Carly, for coming. You could just Google this for me. Oh, you watch my other podcast. You know, she comes in. Observing something changes it. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Look, it can hear me. It's fucking smart Google. Well, the effect of observing and often neglecting the object still experiences a change.
Who made that theory?
I don't know, I'm looking for it. This is often the result, instruments by necessary, blah, 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 state. Of course, when you want to...
I took a philosophy of psychology class my first semester at State, and I think that fucked with my head.
Yeah?
Yeah. It really made me think way too much.
It's the Heisenberg uncertainty principle is what it is.
Yep. It's the fact that so part of that theory, at least from my understanding, from what I've learned in my classes, is like the way Heisenberg like sees an event is like if something is uncertain or something you believe is certain, you can't for sure like prove that it's certain from another perspective, because you're not perceiving it in the same perspective somebody else is.
Okay, so like your opinion of something is different because you're observing it, because not because it's not fact, but because you're not looking through the eyes of what you're observing.
It's basically saying that like because humans are so genetically diverse, you can't exactly perceive and sense anything the same as anyone else in any given situation.
Yeah. Alright, fair. Being on one end of a cloud.
Yep.
Looking down at rain.
Mm-hmm.
You're not being rained on.
Yep.
Way different. Looks like that sucks. It does suck.
I mean, so that's a lot of the problems just with like psychological philosophy is the theories are made to be very vague.
So but what if you're on both sides of it?
They're easier to understand. However, like people who want to understand like this type of like psychology, or most of the people in the world, just like don't really care, and they're gonna take it literally or not dive into it at all, and it gets misinterpreted or people just don't understand it.
Like watching sports, and you're like, oh, I could do that.
Yeah.
and then really not being able to do that.
Have I told you that I think that people who played lacrosse at the bar have an unfair advantage at mopping?
Please elaborate.
It's the same cradle motion.
I guess. Wait, I didn't play lacrosse. I'm pretty fucking good at mopping.
You should play lacrosse then.
I don't know, man.
You got pretty broad shoulders and you like hitting people.
Yeah, I really try to keep that separate though. Like, I've been really good. I haven't really been in like too many fights at bars I work with, and I do that because I have security for that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But however, if you want to come outside and talk some shit to me, like, I feel like some people just look for it.
Yeah.
I like fighting. I think everyone should fight. Let me take that back. I think everyone should get punched in the face hard one time in their life. Just to know. Because then you'll know. You're like, damn, that sucks. You know what I mean? Like,
no, it's not fun. I worked security for about 4 months, and then while I was bar backing, I kind of had like security roles.
Yeah.
And I find myself de-escalating situations a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to our manager about how we need to improve our size to intellect ratio of our security guards.
We need bigger ones.
No, yeah.
We need way bigger ones.
Because we have a lot of people who are very good at talking people down, but it's very hard to talk people down when a lot of people just get very entitled and emotional when they're drunk.
Yes.
And act upon those emotions. Yeah, well, anger is an emotion.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I feel like being sober and then angry also plays a role too. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, there are a lot of people who were not as drunk that I've had to kick out, that like have been like just completely terribly pissed at me, and it's really funny because I'm very good at being able to let go of situations, and that's what's made me like very successful at like getting past the type of volume we handle in this bar.
Mm-hmm.
Because if something bad happens right in a moment, I'm gonna probably forget about it within the next 2.
Yeah.
Unless it's something important, then I can store it back, and that's
slaughter them later.
Yeah.
I always keep 1 or 2 really good insults about people just in the back pocket in case I ever have to be like, oh, you want to know something about you that you don't know?
Yeah.
Motherfucker. I just feel like sometimes in the bar environment, it's not who's right, it's who's loud.
Yeah, and it's really hard for me too because like
Or obviously not loud.
I'm not loud at all. And Joe can tell you that. Like I'm very...
I had to turn your microphone all the way up.
Yeah.
All the way up.
But, I think there's a couple different bar backing styles you can have. First style is brute force method, where you just put all the beer as fast and negligent as you can. And then there's the Jake method, where you sneak around the bar and you can hug the beer wells because...
Agile like a cat.
Pretty much. Like, I kind of, like, ride little rails and just, like, make sure you guys have ice and limes.
I try to take as little steps as possible. I'll plant 1 foot.
So I've gotten to the point where I've been walking behind the bar side to side, like, shuffling on my heels, and I shift my weight, and I'm so good at moving between some of the bartenders that I just, like, literally just, like, bob and weave the entire night, and it's super fun when they're just playing, like, popping house music upstairs.
Yeah.
Vibing, sticking in beer, getting limes, like, juices. Dude, I don't know why.
Never get a motorcycle. You're gonna be splitting lanes.
No, like, this is why I can't do, like, extreme stuff, because I'm just like a thrill seeker, and like bar backing is just enough fun for me, and especially where the place we work, where like I can go there, make enough money to like save up to pay off student loans and stuff like that, but
I feel like I have the brain of a daredevil but the body of a crippled old man.
That might be on my gravestone.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, who says you're gonna die?
I don't know, man.
You might not even be alive now. Ah, you exist.
Don't fuck
you
with
could be living.
Don't fuck with me, Joe.
Well, that was deep.
God. So,
You still thinking about it, huh?
yeah. I hung out with a lot of very smart degenerate kids when I was in high school.
Yes. Rich, smart, degenerate kids are the worst.
Yeah.
Because they have the money to do it.
Yeah, and their parents didn't care if we drank, and would buy us like 151 rum.
Yes.
Like Smirnoff vodka, so it's not like nice, but we were like, fuck yeah, we got a bottle of Smirnoff 41.
Yeah.
And drink like fucking like half a cup of that, mix in some Sprite, and then put lemonade powder and play 10-cup Pong and pass out. And
yes.
That was our like nights.
I'm 100% letting my kid drink the minute he asks for a beer.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to do that because I feel like it's very Americanized that we like put 21 on drinking and stuff. You know what I mean? I think that's stupid. I think the fact that we do that makes people want to drink more and then it becomes a sport. You know what I mean? And that's why we have so many drunk people running around.
That's why like I get really upset with myself when I get very drunk. Just because like I've had so many times where I've been like literally like a kid. I still consider myself a kid. I'm not even 22 years old. And like I think back at like the times when I was like 15, like drunk in a ditch, like throwing up, and like we would do that every weekend.
It's a good ditch though.
I don't know, I love that
That
ditch.
ditch.
Except like it gets tiring after a while, and I realized.
Well, you're sleeping in the ditch. You should be plenty rested.
I realized that when I was like 16 years old, and I'm really glad I learned that at a really young age.
Yeah.
Because I go out and see people who are twice my age and still haven't figured it out.
Yeah. I also think that if you just keep drinking through all of it, then you don't even have to worry, because then you never feel bad about it.
Yeah. And that's kind of like where you can find separation, but like I definitely have like my vices, and like caffeine is such a bad one for me, and I'll go on and off like on spurts.
So monotone, but so energized.
I used to do a lot of acid.
Yeah.
I used to do a lot of acid. So when one of my best friends went to state, we would call them Fun Fridays, but I would come drive up to Raleigh as a 16-year-old, maybe 17.
Yeah.
And we would drop a tab and just like explore Raleigh or just like hanging on campus.
That's just crazy, man. I think it's
I've probably taken like close to like 40 total tabs in my life.
Oh, that's nothing. That's it.
Yeah, but like I feel like that's a lot in a 2-year span.
Yeah, maybe.
And then I stopped doing acid because I was like, I'm having way too much fun with this, and I am like, I don't feel bad now, but I know this is gonna catch up to me.
Yeah.
And
who was the guy that invented that?
I stopped at
Bicycle Day. Fuck, what the fuck was it?
Is that Albert Hoffman?
It is Hoffman. It's Hoffman. So I feel like it is Albert Hoffman. It's crazy because they use a lot of that shit in like MK Ultra.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of crazy because like
it definitely opens up doors. I don't care what anyone says. That opens up some doors.
By far, it is the most like fearful and respected drug I've used. I've done like a bunch of like just like stupid shit. Like me and my friends would like fucking snort blizzards and then take whippets. Like
yes, whippets.
Yeah,
I've done my share.
I'm done with whippets.
Yeah, I've definitely cooked half my fucking brain on that shit.
Yeah, and like I remember the first time like fucking fizzling out on that, and I was like, something's not right.
Yeah.
And then like since that point, I was just like any type of dissociative drug or like especially getting too drunk.
Yeah.
Like I definitely.
I think drinking's the worst at everything.
Drinking.
Maybe heroin.
Drinking makes me feel the worst. But like.
I don't know. Neither one of us have really had a bad come down on heroin.
That is true.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like if I'm 80 years old, if I make it that old, fuck it, I'll try heroin.
Die that way out.
But I feel like I'm too young right now.
Then ride the DMT wave.
Yeah.
On the way out.
Or yeah. Yeah, seriously.
Honestly, that'd be the way to go.
I don't.
Michael Jackson did the right way.
Did he, or did someone kill him?
His doctor was like giving him heroin clinically.
Sweet.
And he overdosed.
What's that doctor's name? Can we?
I don't know, but he got arrested.
Did he really?
Yep.
Oh, that's rough. I think there's like us, you know what I mean, where they're like, drugs are bad, and then they have like all these rich people who are just like, yeah. I learned throughout life that more people do cocaine than you think. You know what I mean? More people do, like, the people that you think you can trust are always the ones you can't. Like, everyone's like, oh, you know, run to this preacher, you know what I mean? And it's like, oh, he might touch your wiener, but like this dude that's wearing all black on the side of the road that has like an upside down cross tattooed on his arm, you know what I mean? It might be the safer one to talk to.
I think I wouldn't say that you can't trust people, but you can't always trust people's motive.
All right, fair.
Like a lot of people just have like an ulterior like reason to be in a situation. Like a lot of people like will talk to me and be like, Jake, you don't have to do that, like at random shit I'm doing in the bar, but like I go there and like that's my playground. I go there to learn and I have fun and I'll do as much work there as I can because like I love hanging out there. I love hanging out with y'all and like
I'm gonna start messing things up. Do you think stacking the boxes of sour up to the point you couldn't get them up was something? You wait.
I'm 5'6", by the way, 5'7" on a good day.
I'm barely 6 foot on a good day, and I managed to stack these sour boxes probably 10 feet tall. That's great. I'm an asshole. Why are you friends with me?
I don't know.
I'm gonna open like 5 cranberry juices.
Danny just started sicking me next to you in the well, and I think it was like one of the first nights he came upstairs and I bar back for you when you were coming back. I forgot how fun it was to work with you. And then like some nights I need some nights off because you fuck around behind the bar too much.
I do fuck around a lot. But like
it's fun. It's fun when it is. But there's sometimes when like I'm running back there and like I know I have so much stuff to do. Half the time it's just me being like completely OCD behind the bar.
32 lemons in a cup.
Really?
No, Jake, I don't know. I guess it depends on the size.
I'm gonna have to count now. Because I gotta figure out how many limes we're ordering in a week. Dude,
well, how many do you think we throw away?
At least a quarter of them. I don't know how much we order, but at least a quarter.
One time, this girl, her name's Abby. She said something like that on our group text when I worked at the Village. She's like, "In case you guys are wondering, it takes blah 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 amount of limes to fill this." I was like, "Cool." So I was like, "If you cut a lime at 30 seconds," I did all the math. I was like, "It should take you no more than 30 minutes to cut that whole thing. Why are you doing this for 2 hours?"
Yeah,
it's not good. My
Honestly, we need to send some texts like that to some people.
My boss fucking hated me and loved me at the same time because I did shit like that.
That's how I feel like I am at the bar now, just because I'm so inexperienced with what's around me. This is the only bar I've worked at, and I was not even 21, so I never had a fake ID, and I was literally taking people's fake IDs away from them before I turned 21.
Yeah.
And now I'm pouring drinks for people with like very little knowledge, but a lot of capacity to learn.
But you got good fucking teachers everywhere, except for me.
I would say that you're one of the better teachers.
No, don't say that. Don't let people know shit like that, Jake.
No, it's honestly, I've gained so much bar knowledge from being in between some of the bartenders I have upstairs usually. I worked for about 3 months with the same 4 bartenders, Flipside.
Yeah.
Matt, Ali, Brendan, and Sebastian, and like we like had some shit kicker nights where I went behind the bar and was literally dancing with everyone, and like it makes me ecstatic when like we can end a night where the bartenders were like maybe stressed for no more than 2 seconds behind the bar, and we still do like upwards of $40,000 in sales.
Yeah.
As a total.
I feel like that's just you've only observed one thing though. When I grew up, it was chaos everywhere.
Well, that's what I see when I come downstairs. Upstairs, It's nice because I hang out up there.
Yeah. It is a different vibe upstairs. It also, having 2 bartenders in one well does fuck you a lot.
Yeah, but you have to learn to share before you can have your own things.
Is that how everything works? So when you get a girlfriend, right? You share?
You got me there. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just the way I was taught bartending, the way that I see how people get taught bartending now is such a different thing. Like, it was like, you either work or you're fired. You know what I mean? Like, now it's like, oh, you had a bad night. That sucks. You know what I mean? Maybe you go home.
That's what kills me, because I think I've called out of work. Like, so this is I think maybe like a week ago was the first time I ever got somebody to cover my shift in the entire year and a half that I've been working at Tin Roof. Which is kind of crazy to me.
I just come in drunk and they'll send me home.
Is that on the record?
I mean, what? I would never come in drunk. Well, alright. For what this is worth, it's way better to come in drunk to work than to get drunk at work.
So, in my interview, my manager told me, we have no drug test policy here. However, if you come in drunk, you must be below the legal limit, so long as you're 21. At which I wasn't 21 at the time, and then he was like, and if you're getting fucked up at work, then I'll send you home. And I was like, cool. And he was like, but if you want to get real stoned right before you check everyone's IDs around 8 o'clock, I'm not going to be mad at you.
It's got such a different outlook. When I was at the village, when I was at a village, a place in a village.
The village people?
The village people.
Yeah. I've heard about them. They're not allowed to bring speakers out.
No concerts. Everyone got drunk there. And then when I worked at another bar, everyone got drunk behind the bar. It was just a way of fucking life. And
how is it operating behind a volume bar where people, like, could you tell, like, people have, like, less motor function than working behind our bar?
No, I think working with not drunk bartenders, buzzed.
Yep.
Bartenders. Like, if at 1 o'clock you're starting to get drunk, then you've done great. If at 1 o'clock you are drunk, you fucked up somewhere. You know what I mean? We'd have safety meetings every hour. I would take a can of Red Bull and fill it like half full of vodka and just sip on it throughout the night. And like by 2 o'clock, I was just drunk enough to be happy cleaning the fucking everything, smoke my cigarettes, you know what I mean, go home, pass out, wake up, do it again. And those were the good days. And living like that is not the way you want to live. But I will say, there is something in alcohol that's equivalent to lube and anal sex. You know what I mean? That, like, nobody really wants anal sex that bad. But at the same time, a little bit of lube will make it bearable. With that being said, nobody wants to get their shit kicked in at the bar and be so busy they don't know how to think. But if you just have enough beer in you, you're just like, okay, dude, I'm sorry, you're mad. That sucks, bro. Like, you know, like, well, you want some more soda water? Like,
yeah. See, alcohol would make me more negligent. What's funny is, like, weed gets me, like, dialed in.
Really? Because I forget everything on weed.
Really? It like, I swear, I just become a lot more hyper aware of everything that's around me.
Yeah.
I think that's, like, the give and take from it, because sometimes I get overstimulated if I'm too high at the bar and bar backing, because I'll come up and, like, right after we move furniture or something, and, like, I'll just, like, smoke one puff right before I go inside and go check on the bar and realize that, like, there's no limes, no ice, no Red Bulls out. They need beer in, like, 3 of the different 8 wells that we have out. So that gets pretty frustrating when I'm already operating capacity. Like, alright guys, I'm gonna get you your bar set. And then I come in and it's completely out of whack.
What would you do if everything was done?
I would get creative. I told Brandon that last night. That's it. I brought up, I found a ton of bar mats in the closet the downstairs bar has been hiding, and brought him upstairs because like our bar just like looks so mundane sometimes. But even
with
just,
the lights on.
Yeah.
But with the lights off, before you become a complete adult, you should try working at one more bar, or 3, or 10. And then you'll be like, wow, every place operates completely different. You know, different styles of managing, different bartenders you work with. You can pick good and bad things out of everyone. You know, that goes for me too.
Mm-hmm.
I think bartending is one of those things that, like, it takes a very special person. I feel like bartenders could virtually do anything.
So Scott didn't tell me this in my interview, but like we're every once in a while I'll be like, yes, do you want me to like hit up one of my fraternity boys to see if they want to work? And he goes, I don't know, man. Are his parents together? And I'll be like, yeah. And he'll be like, dog. And like it's
yo, he took that from me. And what a piece of shit.
Yeah, but like credits to you. Like that it takes a special kind of person, and I don't think it's necessarily like having like some type of like
what the fuck? I can't believe you use my line.
You have to be able to deal with adversity to be able to take the type of adversity we'll deal with.
You never know what someone's going through.
And like it's also like people that like not have like gone through a struggle and made it out and like have moved past it, but like you gotta just hold on to enough of it, like you gotta be like a little bit like in the weeds just so like you can laugh at your own mistakes and realize that like we live in a world of chaos. As much as you can try to contribute, but
Dr. Malcolm from Jurassic Park, Chaos Theory.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Definitely. I'm still fucking twisted. He took my line. This girl came in and she's like, you think I could be a bartender? And I was like, yeah, I don't know, your parents together? And she goes, yeah. I was like, nope, not at all. You gotta accept being a night walker, bro. That's what you are. You walk the night.
And what's funny is like, my mom, like, she gets pissed at me all the time because she knows that, like, I'm not a normal kid. What
are you, superpowered?
No, I'm just fucking weird, and, like, when I was in, like, middle school and high school, like, I wasn't drinking or doing drugs at that point, but, like, I would stay up in the middle of the night just, like, thinking about trauma that, like, I don't even realize or couldn't even fathom, and I'd just be like, hey, Mom, I'm gonna go out for a walk. And she would get mad at me because she's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, at 11 o'clock, 12
she thought you were a fucking Columbine kid.
Yeah, and...
stashing all my guns and bullets?
Yeah, and I'm just like, literally, like, I'm just like, I need to walk it off, because I've so much pent-up stuff from, like, stuff that I haven't really gotten to process yet. And I think that at least going through some sort of like outlet of physical labor combined with like the type of challenging situations.
Do you feel like you need to be a gimp? You have to be beat or something to be worthy?
No. No. Because like people probably think I'm really submissive because I'm really nice, but like I'm
and short.
Yeah.
Nice and short don't go good together.
But I like to pick
tall and angry goes really well these days.
I like to pick women up.
Like physically?
Yeah.
Love your head?
Yeah. Like you realize why I'm picking up everything in the bars, because I like feeling strong because I'm so small.
I picked Anna up the other day.
Elena tried to pick me up yesterday. And I almost fell on her.
Oh, I saw that!
I go, no, because I like started to lean and had my like hand on, and she grabbed my arm and started like pulling down. God, Elena is one of my favorite bartenders to work with because of her like complete discipline behind the bar.
Yeah. She's an adult.
She is very much an adult, and she feels like my mom nagging at me all the time, but like...
I am not an adult.
No, but like it's fun, the type of like duos that end up like getting paired, because like she works very well with people who don't have that type of structure and like childlike manner behind the bar. Like me and her go back and forth all night, like making fun of each other and like talking shit and like throwing shit at each other, and like our bar's perfectly set and she'll get almost 10K on that computer with whoever she's with there. Because she thrives on that chaos. And that's a lot of the difference between those people who work behind the bar who are really good at it, is people who are able to not embrace but accept the chaos and ride the wave rather than like try to fight it. And that's a lot of stuff going through life, is just like trying to ride the motions that you can rather than fight the ones you like are stacked up against.
On this episode of Tin Roof, we'll see if Elena causes chaos or discipline. Last night, she chose violence.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes she comes into work and just chooses violence.
No, I think she's crazy because one time she lost her keys and we were having like a little prank war. And they called me like 5 in the morning, like, do you have Elena's keys? And I'm like, why the fuck would I have her keys?
I remember that.
And she was mad at me.
It was me, Allie, and Elena all working, and we were closing stuff up because that was after the night that I taped your lunchbox to the bottom of a stairwell.
Yes,
So
that is correct.
It was hanging from like a 12-foot drop.
So she fucking...
stairs.
Yeah.
From...
She doesn't even call me. Who called me? Matt called me.
Yeah.
And goes... She
left her keys inside and locked herself in.
Locked herself in where?
Or at 10, I'm pretty sure.
She locked herself in Tin Roof?
No, I think she locked her in her car and forgot about them and then tried to blame it on you.
Really? Because she told me she found them underneath the cooler.
Or they're underneath the cooler. I don't remember.
They're in her car. You know, she didn't talk to me for 2 fucking weeks after that. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And then after a couple weeks went by, she said something smart to me. I was like the time that you got mad at me for you losing your keys. And then she hated me again for another week. And I think she, like, after that realized how ridiculous that was. Jake, that is ridiculous, buddy. You want to hear some? Alright, I got another one.
Some people hold grudges behind people at the bar for the stupidest reasons. Like...
I don't care if people hate me. I think that's my problem.
No, but keep going. I just wanted to say that.
I worked at this steakhouse, and this girl came to work and didn't have her apron, right? And it was like required for a uniform or some shit like that. It was like, you have to buy another apron, and she made the biggest stink of how it wasn't her fault that she left her apron at home. She's like, it's your fault. All of you don't understand. I'm like, we all understand you left your apron at home. Just buy a $10 apron. You're fine. And she's like, you don't understand that what you guys do to me makes me forget my apron. And I'm like, you can't blame this on me. I don't even know you outside of this. Like, people.
No, I get that a lot. And like,
You leave your apron at home, you blame everybody?
No, but like, fucking, a lot of people, I think you and Thomas actually talked about this in your podcast too. Thomas is another bartender we work with, but he said that like one quality that's like very good to possess as a person, which I feel like I'm fairly good at, is taking blame and accepting that you did something wrong. Because being able to accept that like you did something wrong is the first step into changing that habit.
Yeah, and Thomas is good at that.
And so many people have like not really like tunnel vision, but it's hard.
They're never wrong.
It's hard. It's hard for them to see other ways to do things. I guess the best way that I think of it, I call it functional fixedness. Like, you see, that's like a psych term where it's like you only see an object for what it is like defined as. And so like it's a hammer, it's used for like hammering nails. But
also, the hammer could be like used to murder people.
Yeah, but like if you have functional fixedness, you wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
And like I don't think it's people like necessarily like being like purposeful. Like sometimes it's just like ignorance or just like the limit to their creativity.
Thinking inside the box.
And it's really hard because like I get into those type of situations and it's really hard to manage that because like you can't really like get upset with somebody for trying to push the limits of their cognition unless they're doing something purposefully to limit it, if you understand that.
Yeah.
And it's really difficult because like there are some people who just don't see the world the way that everybody else does, and it makes it really hard to like channel them into seeing the way the world is because you can't see how they are.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're not telling you anything but stuff that's in their distorted perception, how are you to help them?
No, I see that.
And it's just
you
like,
beat them
that,
or you kill them. You just kill them all. A third of the population could drop dead tomorrow, and I think the world would be a better place.
The world as a whole would be a better place, but it'd be real sad for a bit.
Yeah.
The Earth is just overpopulated, and like.
But is it though? There's so many, like, we're just overpopulated in certain spots. If we spread our population out, it wouldn't be this bad.
However,
we're living on top of each other, literally.
We're populated in certain spots because humans go towards where there are resources. Like a lot of the places we are not inhabited are places where you can't live.
That's not true. Vegas.
Regan water.
What?
Regan water.
Well, I'm saying it's overpopulated, but it's in the middle of it's like the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, but that's resources as in infrastructure creating like mass tourism.
All right, fair. So tourism is a resource.
Resources is so vague that it's just like something that will benefit human society.
Like why no one lives in Antarctica.
Yeah, because what is there but penguins and ice?
Vampires. 6 months no light. Where do you think they vacation?
Dude.
You're right.
They probably grow really good weed there too.
Maybe.
Because they grow faster in the dark.
They'll light depth them. They veg in the dark.
Yeah, and so what you can do is just taper them so they keep busheling out, and so you can have one plant that splits into
lollipop.
Yeah,
lollipopping them. Ask me how I know all these terms.
I've never grown weed myself, but I had a lot of friends that I grew up with in Durham who like either grew up on farms and like had a couple plants, or like one of my friends had a little setup in one of his sheds just like this. And the cops came and knocking.
I did 17 acres. I did an indoor grow with 3 greenhouses and a garage. I've seen a lot of weed.
Dude, I watched so much Trailer Park Boys that like.
All right.
All that shit fucking runs.
Grab your vape. I'm gonna crack a beer. I'm gonna tell you a good story.
Yeah. Talk to me. I'm gonna listen.
The long one. Worked on this farm. Hundreds of thousands of pounds of marijuana were grown on this farm. Then we had to transport it. We rented like 9 30-foot U-Haul trucks to fucking transfer this weed in and out of the farm all the time. The last like 5 truckloads, I was like the third to last one. I'm stopping to get gas. Right? And I tell you, this fucking truck is packed to the top. Not just like nugs, just like the whole plants are in there.
Are you in a, like, what type of truck?
A U-Haul truck. A giant box U-Haul truck. Everything smells like weed in Oregon. But you're only allowed to have so much on your person in your thing.
It's like 1.5 ounces unless you have a medical license.
There's a lot of loopholes, but yes and no. We packed a fucking U-Haul truck full. My buddy Tyler Peterson. Tyler, if you're watching this, you're gonna laugh your dick off. We roll up to the gas station. I'm pumping gas. Tyler's coming out of the store, and a fucking cop rolls right up next to us and starts pumping gas. He goes, "Hey, where y'all coming from?" We're just talking. I was like, "Medford." And he's like, "Ah, cool." He's like, "What's in the truck?" I was like, "Stack full of marijuana, man." He goes, "Really?" I was like, "Really?" And he goes, "Ah!" And he drives away. And Tyler goes, "Why the fuck did you tell him that?"
Because he's gonna laugh about it.
what was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? My dresser, you know what I mean? I was like, imagine if he happened, happened to ask me to open it, and I just straight lied to this cop. You know what I mean?
That's one of the good things, and like I happen to grow up in a town where like there are a lot of more progressive police programs, and a lot of my teachers are like old Southern folk, and so like. My AP World History teacher, my sophomore year of high school, for half the class, he would talk to you instead about world history. He would be like, if you were in my law and order class, then you would know that in North Carolina, blah, blah, blah. But he would basically like tell us pretty much everything we needed to know about like the liability of like making sure you're at least staying somewhat safe with like anything we were doing, like partying laws or just like, trespassing laws. Like if you were to somewhat get like stuff like when they switched over the fact that like if you have a North Carolina ID that doesn't have your address on it, you can get charged with
flirtatious information to a police officer.
Yeah.
Ask me how I know that one.
Like it's crazy because like there are just so many people who don't know how to protect themselves from the law, and it makes it really easy for police to take advantage of people's ignorance.
Yeah. And there's also like what's it called when you have to get a certain amount of things?
A quota.
Quota. There's also a quota on how many tickets they have to write. I think it's ridiculous. The police aren't really there to help you as much as they are to make the government money.
Yeah.
As if we don't give them enough. $2,500.32 in taxes last year. Uncle Sam.
They gave me money back.
Fuck you. I wish they'd just give us money. In fact, I don't really think money is worth a fuck, to be honest with you. You know?
So as an economics major, I wake up and think about the value of the world and what's around it.
Jesus Christ, you were so Jewish.
I know.
This is the earring thing coming back!
Yeah, but not even just like monetary value. Like that's what's weird for me about economics is like I think of a lot of it as like a lot of the classes that I'm taking or have taken are about like using like aggregate data, like longitudinal data of like some type of phenomenon and being able to model it and coming up with equations to try to figure out why situations happen. And so like our classes go through like how to do that math. We learned how to use like the industry standard softwares. So like if I wanted to go into like some type of like economic modeling job, I can. If I wanted to go any type of like statistical analysis class, I can, because I've learned how to code like with like SAS coding and a bunch of other different stuff. But like that just doesn't appeal to me. What appeals to me is like looking at stuff and figuring out patterns and seeing how I can make stuff better than they already are.
Why'd you go to school for engineering then?
Because I have a Jewish mother.
What did you want to engineer?
So I actually, when I went to high school, I was fortunate enough to go to this program where they offered like college level engineering classes in high school. And so I took like an introductory class that just like went over concepts my freshman year of high school. And then my sophomore year of high school, all my friends, so you typically take like one class per semester, and then after you take the first three, like junior year, then you start taking the electives. But I don't know what compelled me, but I took the next class like still during my sophomore year, and like I was in a class full of like juniors, and like our school was not very intelligent, and like I was still like the smartest kid in that engineering class of 15 people, a grade ahead of me.
Getting all the girls.
Yeah. Oh my god. One of them came into the bar like a month ago, and it was so funny. Like, I hadn't seen her in maybe like 4 or 5 years. And like, I used to like talk to this girl for a while, and we never like actually like dated or did anything. But she came in, and she still looks exactly the same. She's like apparently working up like over in like North Raleigh, but she was like, yeah, we come out here sometimes for music bingo, and she and her friend were already drunk, and I was just like working. I think I was bar backing, so I was like already like running around the building. But I was like, yeah, I'll like say hi, but like, it was good to see you. And then I ended up just like running past her the entire night. But dude, there are so many people that I would just like meet throughout high school, and I've been seeing them at the bar, and it's been freaking me out.
Oh, it gets way better. Wait, you see
like,
them get married.
But it's even funnier because like,
I have kids.
As crazy as my life is, I feel like I'm in a better place than a lot of them.
Yeah, I feel like,
and like, it's hard to have that acceptance because like, I'm happy.
Yeah,
and that's a lot of the difference. Is like, I don't know where I want to be, but I'm fine getting there.
Yeah,
and
the journey's half of it,
and that's really hard for people, and it's been hard for me.
You ever listen to Jordan Peterson?
No.
You might like him. He's got a lot of things I don't really agree with, but he has a lot of things he makes really good points on. A lot of people hate him. There's another dude. What's his name? It's a black dude. Coughlins. Used to be real fat. Alright, so he joined the Navy SEALs.
I don't know.
His motto is "Stay hard, motherfuckers."
I don't know.
Oh my god.
I don't.
You gotta see this guy.
What's funny about me and this generation is like, as like someone who's considered like pretty young and like grew up with technology. So I like, iPhones came out when I was 7 or 8 years old.
This guy.
Yeah. I've seen this before. They're cheesy to me.
Yeah, they're super cheesy, right?
Yeah.
But the fact is...
But the thing is like, a lot of people need that type of like reassurance, because like, a lot of people don't think that way.
So he used to be like 300 pounds overweight.
Yeah.
And like, he joined the Navy SEALs. He went through SEALs training like 5 times. And like, very like, health is the way to happiness. Health is this, health is that. Jordan Peterson is brain, like, think through everything. Think. If you can find a happy, like, not saying Jordan Peterson's right for anything.
I've watched one of his TED Talks before, actually.
But if you can find a happy median where you can work out, stay healthy, and be intelligent, and you don't have to figure out how rockets fly into space, but maybe you should figure out how to fold a paper airplane. You know what I mean? And you don't have to be strong enough to like run 30 fucking miles, but maybe be fast enough to, like, I don't know, outrun your neighborhood dog. You know what I mean?
So what's funny to me, I'll tell you my version of that.
You try to talk down the dog.
I talk down my dog a lot. Me and my dog wrestle. That's how we wake up in the morning. Not like in a sexual way.
Wait, you took it there. What do you mean not in a sexual way? Was your last dog in a sexual way, Jake?
No, my last dog was a 7-pound Maltipoo, and that would not work very well.
Have you tried?
No.
Peanut butter?
I like putting, have you ever put peanut butter on a dog's, like, tip of their nose?
Or their the upper part of the top mouth?
I always do the nose, because my dog will, like, my dog snorts when she's mad. She'll, like, go, like, because she can't, like, spit.
Yeah.
That's, like, half the thing is, like, she wants to, like, get something out of her mouth, and she's upset. And she doesn't, like, cough. But she'll, like, just start snorting, but she'll, like, snort and, like, lick the peanut butter, and it'll still be stuck there, and it'll take her, like, 10 minutes to get it.
What kind of dog do you have now?
So she, I call her Pit Thing. But she's a, like, pit, we think either Corgi or, Dachshund. But she's, like, a foot tall, like, pit face. We got her when she was 8 weeks old. But she's, going on 2 years now. And she is a foot tall and I think she weighs like 40 or 41 pounds.
Pretty big dog.
No, but it's all muscle. Like,
yeah.
That's the thing. Like, she is a, like, we call her a little dump truck because, like, she has a fat ass, and if she wants to ram into you with her little, like, pit bull instincts, she will. Because, like, that's how, when she wants to play, she'll run up to you, and we should have never taught her how to shake. But she will harass you with her paws so much, and then just, like, butt in with her head. Because she's just, like, she's got that energy of, like, a pit, but she's a 1 pound, or, like, a 1 foot tall dog. I love her. Like, she's the light of my life right now.
No, I feel you. Very close second to my girlfriend is my dog. And it brings me happiness. Way more happiness than it probably should. It's the little things in this world that make you happy, you know what I mean? Like, I lose everything, buddy, if I lost my dog and my girlfriend. If I lost my girlfriend, I'd be done. If I lost my dog, I'd be really fucking sad. And she's getting old, she's turning gray. I'm like, I hate it. But every morning I get my girlfriend calls it the special morning dad time, where she, like, hops up and she'll nudge me out, rub the shit out of her. And like, this morning I rubbed her, and, like, she knows when I smell my hand after I rub her, it's like, oh, it's bath time. Like, she's like, oh, because I will not let my dog stink. My dog sleeps in my bed with me.
That's how I am.
Like, I do not fuck around with that. And I don't know, Carly, what your bathing methods were before that, but I will not let that dog stink. I fucking hate it because the dog sleeps with me. You know what I mean?
So my family has, like, dog allergies, and my breathing isn't great. But, like, I don't have, like, any, like, allergies. I've gotten, like, tested for, like, all types, and, like, the only thing I'm allergic to is, like, a couple different, like, prescription medicines, but, like, it's not anything super, like, intense. But, like, I have to bathe my dog, like, probably every 2 weeks. And I used, like, nice shampoo and conditioner, like, from the vet, because she's got, like, number one, she's got, like, a dry skin just from the pit breed. They get, like, skin conditions, like, really
getting
easily.
ashy.
She gets ashy, and then
What, you use, like, mange and tail or something?
kind of like that. But what she does is
Or mane and tail?
it's like she gets, like basically, like, she itches around her paws, and then her, like around her tail and her butt.
She chew all of her off?
She'll chew it, and then lick it, and then it just gets infected with, like, a bacterial infection, and so we have to, like, make sure it just stays clean.
That's exactly what my dog does. She chews her butt too.
Yeah, but so what we use is, it's like a special type of, like, shampoo, and then
Peanut butter.
no, and then I like using almond butter and oatmeal conditioner on her because it makes her smell nice. And
I use tropical. I think it's pineapple and coconut.
yeah.
Boy, that dog is so soft for 3 days.
Do you wash your dog, like, in a bath?
In the shower.
So I used to do that, but my dog, like, looks like she's in a Sarah McLachlan commercial. Whenever I, like, wash her in the shower, but I've gotten in the habit now of I've got a back porch at the place I'm living at now, and I'll just take a hose with the sprayer, put it on shower mode, and I'll, like, just spray her, and she can run around and be as pissed off as she wants to be, and, like, still be able to dry off a little bit, and then, like, I'll get her wet enough, sober down, and then just, like, spray her down. And especially if it's, like, a hot day, like, she's fine with getting wet, but then she starts to get irritated, and then, like, I'll just, like, be, like, shooting her with water to the point that she's just, like, sitting there, like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I told you at least 20 times, like, I hate this shit, please stop it. But, like, the constant water is just, like, makes her cry in a corner.
Yeah, my dog gets the princess treatment. A couple times I've even painted her nails. I shaved a heart into her butt once. And I said it, like, my girlfriend's parents went to the beach with her, so I shaved a little heart in the dog's butt for her to get a beach tan. And, like, her dad thought it was funny. The rest of the family did not think it's funny. And I was like, ha ha, I got you. I've had dogs, and like they've all been like long hair and shit. And during the summertime, I'm very used to like shaving my dogs down, not like shaving them to bare skin, but shaving them down, and then giving them a big bath, and then letting their like their summer coat grow out. But everyone's like, it's gonna ruin their top coat. I'm like, yeah. I was like, but that dog is gonna be so fucking happy for like.
That's what I learned about that this summer and did that with my dog, because all through the spring, especially since it got so warm so early this year, but like also last summer, she has so much short hair, and she was metabolizing like just as a puppy. Like she had just gotten spayed, and then like maybe like 2 or 3 months after was springtime and then summer, and so like right around then, like is when they fully recover from like that surgery, and so their hormones start to kick in again. They get like a second growth spurt from their like puppy spurt.
Oh really?
And because basically what it does is when they're tying their tubes, the same kind of thing happens when people get vasectomies. Is what it does is it instead of all the like sex cells going towards like that normal process, it puts all those hormones back into your body.
Wait, you're telling me if I get a fucking vasectomy,
it'll increase your T cell or testosterone. It may or may not. But
don't you lie to me, Jake. I want to be fucking ripped.
Do you want to get kids?
Not really.
We can get it reversed.
Will it suck all of my T cells back?
I don't know, but it definitely is like an intensive process. So like, look into it if you want to. But like, I don't know. Like my dad, like that's part of the reason why he's a little overweight is because his T count like dropped when he like started getting into his early 20s, and I think when my mom and my dad had my brother, maybe like a year or two after he got a vasectomy.
Yeah.
Because he was starting to get like really overweight, but they were also really depressed.
Yeah.
So
depression's crazy. People deal with it differently.
No.
Some people get ripped. Some people get fat. Some people just.
What's kind of crazy? So I had just gotten back from. I grieve different. But I had just gotten back from Tampa for a celebration of life with for my grandfather. He was like a very big part of my life as like just like a normal father figure. Like he and my grandma had a horrible marriage, but they just like stayed together because like they're just old. And like he's just like such a goofy guy. He went to engineering school and then law school and was a patent attorney. Like paid his dues and was able to send my mom to college even though she wasn't that smart, but still worked very hard, and now she is pretty smart. And like her other sister like lives in Tampa, is married to the like director of sales for the East Coast of Titleist and FootJoy. And so it's really easy for me to find what golf stuff I want whenever I want to go. That's how me and Brendan bond.
I thought rich people shoot guns, not play golf.
Oh, I've gone skeet shooting. He was the first person to take me shooting, actually.
Do you have guns?
I don't have guns.
You just know people do.
But yeah, I mean, I grew up in North Durham. So like people living in Bahama just have like huge plots of land. So,
yeah.
Like, what do we do when we're like bored high school kids? We go out with Coke bottles, fill them up with colored liquids.
With Coke. Oh, I what? Not Coke. Like different Coke.
Yeah. Colored liquids, or like just like funky
blast them.
stuff. Or like try to shoot acorns, 22. Like
I have 1,000 rounds for my. Probably not anymore.
I don't know. Guns are weird because I understand the power in them, and that's a lot of what I think like people who have like radical ideas like kind of dismiss me from being able to even have conversations about some type of like gun legislation, because like guns are gonna do what guns are gonna do. People are gonna do what people are gonna do. However,
well, 3D printers aren't going to like stop anything, you know.
However, if everyone knew how to use a gun and when to use a gun, it would make it a lot more simple to make legislation that people can accept.
Yeah, fair. But like, all right, it goes back to being like punched in the face. You know what I mean?
Okay, go on.
Okay. Close to the mic so everyone can hear this opinion. It goes back to being punched in the face. If everyone just got punched in the face really hard one time in their life, they would know what it felt like, and they would be like, damn, maybe I should shut my fucking mouth and like not talk about things I don't know about. Right?
Yeah.
With that being said, if everyone, I'm not saying everyone should get shot in the face, if everyone learned about guns at a very young age.
If you've gotten shot in the back with a .22 from your friend who's laughing, then you're probably a tougher man than the one beside you who hasn't.
Fair.
And I think about that a lot when I'm behind the bar.
Does frozen paintballs count? Because that fucking sucks.
No, that
Thank
might
you,
be,
Tyler.
That might be worse because like my friend's 22 was like it was his mom's gun from when she was a kid. It was like her Red Ryder from like the 70s.
Yes.
And like we would just like fuck around and like pretty much play airsoft with it.
Yes.
With like BBs because we're fucking.
I got a break barrel.
I hung out with like rich degenerates.
Yeah.
Like people who had like immense land out in North Durham, or people who lived in I don't know if you've been around Durham too much, but so like most of my friends were either in Hillsborough towards Hardscrabble, and then that's like off of like Mason and Guess Road. That's far up Guess Road. Jeez. But Mason and Guess Road, and then the other half of them lived towards like South Point area in Durham, like closer to RTP. So like they lived at like Hope Valley or Briar Creek.
Well, it wasn't done. So, anyways, the gun thing.
Yeah.
Everyone learned how to shoot guns at a young age.
Yeah.
I think things would be a lot different if everyone had a gun and like respected like the idea of it. It would make a little bit of difference. You know what I mean? Like in the world, like in just general. With that being said, I'm a big like firm believer we should start teaching self-defense in school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We all need to be fucking warriors
agree.
in case the aliens get here.
There's some times where I question like the security at our bar, when like
it's just them.
None of us have been trained in self-defense besides like the few of us that have done martial arts, and I just like I'm a like ragtag kid who just like has had to defend myself before, and so like I know kind of what to do, but like I've gotten myself hurt plenty of times, like getting into fights at the bar. And
if you're not hurting, you're not trying, Jake.
No, I know.
I'm gonna bring my old mouth guard in. I think I'm just gonna leave it back there behind the bar. Next time I think
in your headband.
What?
Just stick it in your headband.
Let it hang out the side.
Yeah,
like I'm the motherfucker.
Yeah.
I know. I see some people I see in class. I'm like, they're not the right one.
Yeah. If you ever do too much coke, you can, or what you can do is just put some lines, like line it on the bottom of the mouth guard and just put it up on your teeth.
Yes, that is a.
Do you want to know why I was in engineering? Because I think of stuff like that.
Or okay, I follow you. Instead of putting lines in there, let's put little capsules. So you bite down. So you can preload it. You know what I'm saying? Like you put it in, it's not gonna hit you yet. But you're like, you run up, you're like, now turn the juice on.
I mean, you can stick like Ali's XRs.
No, because those take minutes. You need instant release.
Well, so the way extended release Adderall works, is it's in a capsule because it's a mixed salt. And so what they do is they take if it's like a 10 milligram or 20 milligram, so let's just say 10 milligram pill. 5 milligrams of that is instant release Adderall.
The blue dots.
Yes.
And then the red dots release later.
Yes. So basically they have a coating around them that like has a time release, or is just like kind of thicker. It makes it a little more harder for the enzymes in your stomach to break them down, and so it'll be able to stay in your stomach for like a couple hours, and then it will actually come into effect. The medicine is crazy, and so that's why I got into chemical engineering. I never want to do anything in a hospital or like that.
No, I like the mouth guard idea.
But like, there's so much in pharmaceuticals. Like, you know how much I love helping people.
Yeah.
And just like
except for when my fingers are gushing out blood in the middle of the night.
I brought you tape.
Let me bleed out. Oh,
I got some of this nice medical tape.
Ooh.
I'm gonna let you use that next week.
I think mine are about fucking cleaned up at this point.
Oh, don't worry, they'll get cut up next week.
Not that bad. This was bad. This one's really bad.
Yeah, this is waterproof though. I wore one strip all night.
I like when that gets wet and pruny because then it looks like a little iceberg.
It freaks me out just because I get my hands in every single part of the bar. And
you're building herd immunity right now.
My hands are calloused and overwashed. However, I am so I'm such a neat freak that I have to clean everything, and I'm gonna make sure that at the end of the day, none of that shit is on me either.
No, I leave it on. Let it soak.
No,
marinate.
I'll see some of the people with just trash shit on their legs, and that freaks me out. I'll go outside and run the hose over my body.
Bro, I took a shower last night. It was the worst.
My shower last night was pretty good.
No, I'm not saying the shower is bad. I'm just saying it's everything on me. Because I can't wear jeans at the bar anymore. It's so fucking hot.
Oh yeah.
There's no fucking AC, Scott.
So I wear they're literally like a bathing suit, but they're kind of like golf shorts.
I see them.
Athletic material, and my
shorts are gonna start getting higher.
They don't have big enough pockets to really fit that much, and so I keep maybe a vape and my bar key, and then I'll leave my phone at the bar. My friends get pissed at me. I was telling you I'm not like others my age because I don't check my phone, and it's just for me.
Yeah,
it's not a problem because I'm so ADD and anxious. Having that much power. I'm at the cusp where I just got to where technology started growing super fast at the same time my brain started developing, and it's really hard to get lost in there, and a lot of ways that I have gotten depressed or could find ways to be anxious are getting sucked in my phone, and the best way to do that for me is literally.
What do you look at when you get stuck in your phone? You scroll through Facebook for hours?
No, I don't even go on Facebook actually. Mostly
you Google what is life?
I used to go on Reddit and just search up random stuff like that, learning stuff.
Forever. That's why I get stuck at night.
I got to the point where I was I think I know too much.
I know it all.
And I was I don't know it all, but I know so much bad stuff that I need to chill for a bit.
Yeah, check out the deep web. I showed you Vinny Pez, bro. That's so deep, bro.
Deep web,
the dark web, the darkest web. Off the record.
I was telling Scott this last night, but we during COVID, my student ID in my wallet, you could probably lick it right now and it tastes like some Tigger Yum Yum because we were buying Molly by the fucking ounce, and it was $30 to $40 an ounce, and we were selling it for $20 a point.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of fucking money.
I knew a girl that was really into that. We used to fuck a lot. She was the worst influence in my life.
Oh no, Molly was one of the drugs that drove me to take a break from doing anything. I went cold turkey and then went on antidepressants.
Yeah, Molly's crazy. Might make you want to fuck and kill people and shit.
Yeah, no.
Maybe not want to kill people.
It makes you literally
horny and angry.
Yeah, no, just overstimulated in any way possible.
And then you crash.
Yep, and then you come back to the world where Like stimulation is what everybody's looking for, but you just found one of the best ways to get it, and it doesn't last too long, does it?
A night.
If you're lucky, if you got enough.
Yeah, you gotta plan it right, buddy. Take 3 grams at one time and just fucking hold on.
Oh god, I went to the Ritz and I was pissed because I had seen the 2 openers for, I think it was like Hesh, who just makes like pretty much like machine gun dubstep, and then Say My Name, who he makes all types of like EDM music, but his sets are like very like dancey, like kind of like hard style, and then Nightmare was the headliner.
Nightmare.
I love Nightmare. He went to Ravenscroft in
Oh, really?
And so like I see him every time he comes to Raleigh because that's like his homecoming or whatever.
Dope.
But we were in the Ritz and it was like sold out, like out the wazoo. Everybody came before like 8 o'clock, and Nightmare, or like the main sets usually come on around like 9:30, 10, play for an hour and a half. But he basically they stopped the set and I took probably like 0.3, like the second time I've ever rolled, and I was like done dancing and I was with like a group of like 25 friends. Like we were having a great time, kind of tucked in the back, so that way we like had enough space to like dance and like get water if we needed, use the bathroom, which is something I value in concerts.
Water in bathrooms
and space. Space is nice, but I literally just like got in like a mode of like I was literally like had so much euphoria that I was like floating in and out of my body.
Sounds like Molly.
And like starting to like black out off it, and I just like look at my friend Connor, who's like me and him have like been doing drugs together and known each other for a while, but I just looked at him because he was sober that night and I was like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and he was like, got you. And I like immediately turned around and just like shoulder checked the fuck out of some dude who was like 6'5", and he just looks at me like, what the fuck? And I like kept on walking with no remorse, and apparently he was about to go after me, but I didn't know that because I was fucking rolling my dick off. And I ran in there because I was just like so stimulated and nothing was going on out there. Like I turned all the lights off in the transitions, and I went in the bathroom, took my shirt off, and literally sat like in the stall for like 5 minutes, maybe 10. But like the entire time I was like, holy fucking shit, like my body's changing temperatures like literally every second, like I'm rolling my face off. And I was like, then I started to hear like the little like Nightmare intro, and
kicked the fucking door down, ripped your pants off, ran out there butt naked.
No, I was literally in there and I was like, motherfucker, like I want to come out, but like I can't because I'm rolling my face off. And I eventually got to the point where I was like, okay, I can at least go back out. And I went out, danced with my friends, took a couple of videos, and then I was like, nope, and ran back to the bathroom, got over like that second hump and then started coming down, and then like,
I don't understand, why'd you run in the bathroom? You gonna throw up or something?
Like I literally was like, it was so hot in the venue and I literally just needed to like be in a space where I was like alone, could get my thoughts together and just breathe. Like that's really like such a grounding thing that like I think a lot of people don't realize is like just sitting down, closing your eyes, breathing and feeling what's around you like helps you like feel what is around you and lets you actually think a lot of times. Like, and that's why I think like I've never really had too much of like a bad time with psychedelics, because like with acid, like I love the way it feels every time. And I've had so many friends have like bad trips while I'm like 2 or 3 tabs like deep myself, and like I have to talk them out of it, but like I've got those little conversations in my head where I can just like recognize where I'm having like that negative thought loop, and I'm like, I don't want to have that right now because like on this drug that's going to potentiate that for the next couple hours.
So
I'm just going to breathe and let it pass, and if it doesn't, then I'll do something more about it. But every time it works.
yeah, never really had that. I just fucking send it. I think I've always had something to do though.
Yeah.
Or someone to do.
That's what I've only I haven't had sex on acid, but I've had sex on Molly. But I think it was bad because it was with like this on and off ex that I had, and it ended up being a really bad breakup. Like, and I probably shouldn't have even like hung out with her that night. So,
yes,
that's off the record.
You can't say that. It's gonna start like, hi, this is Jake. Have a good one, guys. Oh,
we
fuck.
might just have to put like this video just like on the shelf.
What? This is an hour and 35 minutes later. No one's gonna listen to it anyway. It's not like anyone likes it.
I know Brendan listens to him, and Taylor will probably listen to it.
K-Trans will listen to it.
I want to hear back because I always think it's weird when I hear my voice, like, speaking. I don't know how it feels for you. Do you ever go back and watch your
Yeah, I listen to
podcasts?
all of them. I put them on, and I listen to them, and if I listen to something I hear is like cringy, I like call somebody and be like, yo, I don't know this.
Yeah. I mean, so like I'm not very good at like writing stuff down.
But nothing that anyone that you or I've said I feel like is bad. Yeah.
No.
Forever.
No.
On the internet. Till we die. Because in 500 years.
There's nothing I said here that I wouldn't say to somebody's face if they gave me the opportunity.
Nah.
That's how I feel.
What if they didn't give them the opportunity and they were like tied up in your basement and you're like, you're gonna listen? God, Jake, I love you to death, bro, but if you monotone me to death.
I'm not that coercive, dude. you know I'm not that coercive.
God, you'd be the worst book reader ever. And then the unicorn jumped over the rainbow.
They hated playing popcorn with me in high school.
What the fuck is popcorn?
It's where, like, you read a paragraph, and after the next paragraph, somebody else reads.
Did you not stop at the periods?
Do you want to hear something really funny? So, when I was
No.
When I was in, I think I was in 7th or 8th grade, we had this Spanish teacher who hated me and one of my best friends, Shane. I love Shane. He's like been one of my best friends since I was 5 years old. We went to like all the way through elementary and middle school together, and then he went to like Jordan High School in Durham, so it's a little bit towards South Point. He lived in Hope Valley.
Yeah.
But he went to Duke. We were gonna room together if I got in, but life does some crazy things, and I think it's funny how it works out.
Yeah.
He graduated early because like he was just so burnt out like over the workload that he had at Duke, and like was drinking himself to death while he was there, and he moved to New York after like 3.5 years of school, and now he's working for a like newspaper company doing like sports writing.
Oh, cool.
But he like worked for the Durham Bulls doing like broadcast stuff for them.
Oh, sweet.
In high school, and then like he was one of the head sports writers for Duke has a newspaper called the Chronicle, and Coach K right before his last season, there was something that came out about how some journalist at Duke was slandering Coach K about how his team is kind of falling apart within his last years of coaching, and that was my friend. And apparently Coach K like literally like cussed him out, and he's been like our hero since we were little kids. Like we've seen him in Durham. We're friends with his like nephews because we played like basketball against them in high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Durham's such a small world, and there's so many like big people there.
Yeah, I used to be a ball boy. I've actually had dinner with Coach K and his wife.
Yeah, so his one of his daughters was our next door neighbor for 3 years, and then they moved into a bigger house, and Nate James, who I think he's still one of the assistant coaches at Duke, moved right in to their house. And so like they would all like hang out and have like cookouts like at their house, and so like I'd walk my dog, and like Emil Jefferson, who is one of the players at the time, like I think I was like 12, and he's like 6'9", 6'10", and I'm just like out there walking my dog, and I'm like, hey, and I'm a child. Like it's crazy because like there's so much diversity of like talent in different areas.
Yeah.
Around Durham, and like I think that definitely contributes to a lot of my opinions on stuff. Because
the smallest, biggest city ever.
No, it kind of is, and it's crazy. I miss it all the time, and I'd go back probably like maybe like once or twice a week just so I can get like food from Durham, because I swear to God, like I've been all around the country just with like my family originally being really wealthy and being able to travel, and then once they divorced I was still able to travel. Because my
traveling's not expensive, it's just like how
my dad hopped around to a couple places, but we like I've been to like New Orleans, I've been to like West Coast, I've been to like Utah, like Nevada, I've been to Vegas. That was Thanksgiving when I was 15. Divorced parents.
Oh, bro. I don't think I was 15. I was into there. It took an hour and a half to divorce parents.
Yeah.
Raised us.